Corner steel kiss on the edge of neon air.
Metal to metal, we're a heartbeat from despair.
Sparks fly high like a blade across the night.
Every near collision is a taste of deadly love.
Rim shot crack like a hammer on your soul.
Tires scream prayers they can't control.
Guardrail lips waiting for a careless turn. One wrong breath and you will crash and burn. Corner steel kiss. Feel the side panel bite. We're dancing with the guardrail in the razor light.
If you wanna win, you gotta brush the brink.
Let the steel kiss first before you even call it steel kiss. On the edge of what's allowed, we carve our names and sparks for the watching crowd.
If you flinch away from the touch of chrome on chrome,
you'll be left behind, never finding home.
Cold wind slicing through the gap between our doors. Every centimeter shrinks, we're closer than before.
Your mirror fills with fire, I invade your lane.
Two blades clashing in a high-speed chain.
Crack piano stabbing in the dark.
Rhythm like a knife that leaves a glowing mark.
Every slice of sound cuts deeper through the roar, drawing out the line we're fighting for. Corner steel kiss. Feel the paint start to peel.
We're trading blows in a waltz of chrome and steel.
If you break too soon, you're surrendering your pride. Let the metal speak, let the panels collide.
Corner steel kiss. On the limit of control, we erase the distance as we gamble every soul.
If you want this crown, you've gotta risk the heads. Let the blade edge pass with a shower of grass. Heat in the cabin, breath fogs the glass, but my focus stays sharp as the shadows pass.
I lean into danger like a handshake with a gun. If we're gonna clash, then let the impact stun.
Sparks trace halos in the corner of my side.
Guardrail teeth shining, hungry for a bite.
You try to hold the line, but I cut in tight. Steel on steel whispers, who owns the night? Corner steel kiss, just a fraction from the grave.
We trade our fear for the glory that we crave.
If you back away when the gap becomes too small, you'll lose the war before you touch the wall. Corner steel kiss, where the brave forget to scream. Only grinding metal wakes them from the dream. If you dare to stay when the distance turns to mist, you'll feel victory in that deadly shining cast. Last lap coming like a bullet to the heart.
We've carried this duel from the start.
Side by side, inches from a fatal twist. One more corner, one more steel kiss. Corner steel kiss. In the flash of silver light,
We decide our fate in a single burning sight.
if you pull away, then the story's mine to write. Let the steel kiss speak, who rules the night? Corner steel kiss, just a fraction from the grave.
We trade our fear for the glory that we crave.
If you back away when the gap becomes too small, you'll lose the war before you touch the wall. Corner steel kiss,
Where the brave forget to scream.
only grinded metal wakes them from the dream.
If you dare to stay when the distance turns to mist,
You'll feel victory in that deadly shining cast. Midnight sirens in the corners of my mind.
Final warning burning in the racing line.
Every heartbeat sinking with the dashboard glow.
This is where we settle what we never let go.
Guardrails watching like a jury in the dark.
One mistake away from leaving just a mark.
Your shadow rides beside me like a loaded gun.
Only one will cross the line and live as number one.
Rival doom laugh. Feel the ticking in your veins.
Every second falling like a bullet made of chains.
If you close your eyes, you'll be swallowed by the
I
night.
accelerate through fate, you're fading from my sight.
Rival doom laugh at the edge of grip and fear.
If you want tomorrow, you must steal it here.
When the countdown ends and the engines all explode, we'll see who survives this final fatal road.
Mirrors full of sparks as we dive into the bend.
Destiny is narrowed to this single brutal end.
You're breathing like a bomb that's seconds from the blast.
Praying that your courage doesn't shatter at the last.
A clotting piano cutting through the roar. Hammered like a clock that can't be stopped anymore. On one hit slam like a hammer on your fate.
In this final sector, there is no escape gate. Rival doom laugh. Feel the tarmac start to shake.
Every shifting gear is a value you cannot break.
If you hold your breath when the apex comes in close,
You might rise a legend or collapse into a ghost.
rival doom laugh. All the lies are stripped away.
Only naked speed has the right to stay.
When the ticking stops and the silence turns to flame,
One of us will vanish with a forgotten name.
tick, 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 tick. Zero on the dial. Last straight screaming like a sentence in the sky.
You throw your soul forward in a desperate try.
Side by side and lock like a pair of crashing stars.
Burning up the distance between victory and scars.
Nitro in the blood, no more second guessing fear.
We erase a lifetime in the length of one last gear.
Checkered future stands just a heartbeat far.
I refuse to lose you in my rear view star.
Rival doom lap as the finish line ignites.
I will carve my truth in these neon nights.
If you can't withstand the blast that I unleash,
You'll be just an echo that the engine will delete.
rival doom lap when the smoke begins to clear.
Only one silhouette will be standing here.
When
sides of the road. Guardrails twisted from the last time I exploded. You pray for a gap, but I'm filling every space. My shadow is a convoy swallowing the race. Sirens in your skull, alarms across your nerves. The closer that I get, the harder your line curves. One more miscalculation and you'll spin into the dark, while I keep advancing, leaving just a burning mark. Overrun War Engine, I don't recognize retreat. Every skid is like a boot print carved in heat. If you try to flee, you'll be hunted by the sound of my grinding treads as they chew up holy ground. Overrun War Engine at the edge of grip and fire. Every shift I throw is an airstrike going higher. If you wanna live better, clear out of my lane. I was built to crush, to conquer. gets shallow as the reckoning draws near. You throw your soul into a desperate final dive, but only those who kiss the edge will leave alive. Apex execution line, I engrave my name in steel. Every flawless arc becomes the only truth you feel. If you want this crown, pay in gasoline and spine, or die upon the curve of my execution line. Nitro Shockfront, feel the blast before I'm gone. Pressure in the air when the booster's switching on. I'm the first in line, detonating up ahead. You're just riding in the ruins of the path I shred.
Heat lines twisting as the city starts to bend.
Steel rise climbing like the world will never end.
Heartbeat on the one when the throttle hits the floor.
When the light turns green, you won't see me anymore. I don't chase the pack, I erase the pack. I ignite the sky, and I never look back. Every gear I throw is a fuse inside the night. When I hit the spray, you vanish from my sight. Nitro Shockfront on the blasted point zero, tearing through the dark like a supersonic arrow. If you're not ahead, then you're swallowed by the wave. I'm the leading shockwave you can never take. Nitro Shockfront, when the jets begin to roar, you feel the air explode like a never-ending war. If you try to match the violence of my run, you'll be blown away before the race is done. White sparks spitting from the tailpipe flare, static in your veins as you taste the burning air. Warning lights flash, but you slam the gas instead, chasing down a phantom that's already bled. I'm the rupture line in the fabric of the ground. When I trigger boost, there's a sonic breaking sound. Guardrails tremble as the wave comes crashing through. By the time it hits, I am nowhere near you. Nitro Shockfront, hear the tires start to scream. Every single launch is a battlefield extreme. If you're in my wake, you're a target in the storm. I rewrite the road and reinvent the norm. Nitro Shockfront, feel the pressure in your chest, trying not to drown in the violence of the crest. If you can't survive the turbulence I send, you'll be scattered fragments at the final bend. Flashbang headlights on the apex curve. I don't know the word for break or serve. I was born to be the trigger at the start, firing chain reactions from a nitro heart. Last lap rising like a siren in your head. You can see my ghost on the line you should have led. But the moment comes when the bolsters hit again, and you're left behind in a shattering refrain.
sparks fly high like a desperate flare. All that's left of you is ashes in the air.
Heat shimmer halos around the neon signs, guardrails waiting for the ones who cross the lines. I'm not here to share this holy strip of night. I'm the only comet in your fractured sight. Last lap coming like a hammer to the glass. You throw out your fear for a final chance to pass. But when you dive in deep, you'll feel the truth at last. My burn mark's waiting at the exit of the path. Fastlane Burnmark, there's no finish for my ride.
I'm the scorch that stays
When the race is done, if you want this crown, you'll have to pay in flames. I'll leave my burn mark on your broken games. Fastlane burn mark at the ending of the line.
All your hopes and records fall behind mine.
When the engines fade and the smoke begins to clear, my burning signature is all that's left right here. Engines roar like cannons in the midnight air. Steel nerves loaded, feel the tension everywhere. Headlights cut the fog like searchlights on the sea. This winding road's a battlefield for me.
Every apex feels like lining up a gun, locking on the line until the corner's done.
Armor made of metal, rubber, fire and smoke. One mistake from you and the whole will pop.
Corner Dreadnought,
I'm the titan of the night, crushing every curve with overwhelming might. When I swing the body like a warship broadside, you'll be swept away by the thunder of my ride.
Corner Dreadnought,
Carving arcs of steel and stone, heavy weight of horsepower shaking every bone. If you try to pass, you'll be swallowed by the glow. I command the curves, and I won't let go.
toms roll like thunder when I change the gear. Brass in my heartbeat cutting through your fear.
You're just a tiny wave against a monster hull. Every drift I launch is a full barrage in full.
You cling to the inside line like it's your shield, but I rewrite the law of gravity on this field. My shadow covers you like smoke from burning guns. When I dive into the bend, your courage comes undone. Corner Dreadnought, hear the tires start to scream. Every side we slide is a salvo in my scheme. When the G-force hits like an ocean made of flame, you'll capsize in the wake and forget your name. Corner Dreadnought, iron spine and diesel soul. Every curve I crush brings me closer to the goal. If you try to match the angle of my flow, you'll be torn apart by the pressure that I throw. Corner Dreadnought, iron hull on burning asphalt. Corner Dread that fire at the next hairpin.
Night wind howling like a siren of the deep. Guardrails glimmer where the careless fall asleep. You feel the chassis twist your grip.
marching army's feet. Brass fanfares blaze over every backbeat. I take the outer line like it belongs to me. A sovereign battleship on a blacked out sea. Call it Dreadnought, I'm the terror of the turn. Every inch of tarmac is a map I burn. When the breaking point disappears beneath my keel, you'll understand too late that this monster's real. Call it Dreadnought, I will never yield the helm. I'm the king of curves, the lord of this realm. If you come for me, better bring a storm to throw, 'cause I'm the giant wave that will sink your show. Call it Dreadnought, when the checkered flags collide, I'll be sailing on, you'll be stranded roadside. If you want this crown, you got a war to fight. I'm the Dreadnought, ruling every corner of night. Nothing at all. Cold sweat dripping on your trembling hands. You're a broken number that the system can't withstand. Every time you push, I am already gone. Your calculations fail before the race is done. I am the error that you can't define, the hidden variable outside your line. You try to solve me, but you're far too slow. By the time you answer, I've already won the show. Rival no point on the razor of the speed. I subtract your courage, amplify my greed. When the final signal burns into the sky, your value hits zero. I won't even say goodbye. Rival no point where the brave refuse to break. I rewrite the outcome with each move I make. If you can't keep pace, then you're lost in the glow. I set your value down to zero. Rival, your numbers faded from the screen. You were never more than just a broken dream. System override, erase your name from sight. For the no point, you vanish from the night. Last lap coming like a meteor flame. Every corner screaming out your shame. You throw your life into a desperate turn, but I am the lesson that you'll never learn. Static
When the engine's cool and the city starts to glow, your value hits zero, and nobody will know. Rival, no point, final judgment in my eyes. I collapse your future into one last cry. If you can't keep up, then it's time to let go. I set your value down to zero. War rival numbers fading from the screen. You were never more than just a broken dream. System override, erase your name from sight. No point, you vanish from the lane. Rival numbers fading from the screen. You were never more than just a broken dream. System override, erase your name from sight. So there's no point, you vanish from the lane. Rival number. Rival number. Rival number. Overrun Ultimatum. Overrun Ultimatum. Overrun Ultimatum. Hear the tires scream tonight. Red line verdict on the edge of neon light. If you can't follow, you'll be buried in my dust. The ultimatum is speed or turn to rust. Nightfall countdown, heartbeat like an engine roar. Deadline in the mirror, I don't feel it anymore. White lines cutting through the panic in my veins. One chance, one shot, burning up the chains. I see a shadow in my side view glass. You're closing in, trying to overpass. But this road only speaks of steel and heat. Only the fastest one leaves on their feet. Overrun Ultimatum.
my feet. All this silence on the mountainside, waiting for the blade to glide.
You hold back when the lights grow thin. Talk brave words, but you never spin. Every promise that you wrote in day melts when the stars get in the way.
I was sharpened in a steeper lane, caught my name in the midnight rain. When the world turns blind and the light runs tight, that's when I pull the knife.
Cold wind slicing through a narrow frame, every heartbeat calling out a name.
If this ground wants proof, who owns the height? Let it feel the knife in night. Apex night saber, I cut the dark where the weak hearts stall. One clean stroke and I take it all. When the last split second makes the brave ones waver, I swing the night saber. Apex wide when the cliff edge nears. I draw close and erase your fears. You can pray for mercy from the shadow chamber, but it crowns the night saber.
Headlights twisted in a tangled row, shaking hands that don't wanna go. You keep hoping that the curve feels kind as you fight your trembling mind.
I see windows in the shrinking space, hidden doors in the tight embrace. When the road says choose in a single breath, I pick speed or death.
White stripes flicker like a broken code, every glitch opens up a road.
If the crown is forged where the brave don't waver, mark and night saber. Apex night saber, I cut the dark where the weak hearts stall. One clean stroke and I take it all. When the last split second makes the brave ones waver, I swing the night saber.
You drift wide when the cliff edge nears. I draw close and erase your fears. You can pray for mercy from the shadow chamber, but it crowns the night saber.
I don't want a life on a painted rail, soft and slow, so I never fail. If the price of meaning is this sharp, wild favor, let me be the saber. Apex night saber, when the last bend rips the night in two, I will hold the line and cut past you. If the story search for the one who changed the flavor, let them say night saber.
Apex night saber, when the engines fade and hills fall still, only straight scars on the valley hill. They can pray safe daylight in a gentle neighbor, but the road keeps night saber.
Cold air tracing where the cut ran through, faint thin marks in a silver hue. Silent turns under all that vapor, still whispering night saber. Let's crawl in a single file.
Tame and safe for a little while.
You keep hoping fate will spare your pride as you drift along the side.
I see patterns in the jagged heat.
Hidden paths under frantic beat.
Every never that you locked in stone
Becomes my stepping zone.
warning symbols on the tilted scale. Every flash saying break this jail. If the crown is cut from the fiercest scourge.
Stepping with Warforge.
I light the core and the night turns red. One hard blast through the doubt you bred.
When the last slow dream gets torn from the gorge, I roll in Warforge.
You fade back when the charge roars near. I drive straight through with a sharpened gear.
You can pray for silence when the flames disgorge, but they sing Warforge. I refuse a life in a padded shell.
Soft and slow, so I never fail.
If the price of meaning is this life's scorch, let it be Warforge. Nitro Warforge.
When the last band rips the dark in two, I will crack the earth and cut past you.
If tomorrow asks how your legend left the gorge, let it right Warforge.
When the engines fade and hills fall still, only branded lines on the valley hill.
They can praise their comfort on a quiet porch, but the road was Warforge.
Cool wind circling where the blaze broke free.
Faint heart scars on the blackened sea,
Silent lanes under all that gorge.
still glowing with Warforge. Nitro Warguard standing at the front line gate. Two-step thunder as I calculate your fate.
If you cross this line, you will answer to my steel.
On the border of the war zone, I decide what's real.
Flames spit sharp from the tailpipe's mouth. Shockwaves rolling from the north to the south.
Every backfire beat is a warning in the night. You're approaching my domain, you're approaching a fight.
I'm the ghost in the smoke where the engines roar.
Guardian of the strip of the endless war.
You can see my shadow in the heat haze glow.
If you wanna pass through, prove you're built to go. Nitro Warguard, hear the two-step crack the sky.
Every sudden blast is a challenge to your pride.